Go home with a vengeance. Yes, guys, that is a play on Die Hard 3, but it's time for your Wwe Smackdown 18th of July. Go home show edition for vengeance.
Controversial, but Die Hard 3 is my favourite Die Hard.
I don't think it's controversial, I think it is the best.
No, but a lot of people go with Die Hard 1. I don't know anyone that says Die Hard 2 is the best.
I think Die Hard 2 is underrated.
I think it's underrated, but out of the first three, I think it's the worst.
Yeah, I feel like...
But that's not, I don't mean, that's harsh. I don't mean work. No, I think it's the third best. Let's put it that way. I don't like the third best.
The third best.
Third best, brother.
Well, I think it's safe to say SmackDown is currently the best show in 2002.
Well, it is in 2023 as well, so...
Some things never change, brother. But we kick off. We've got Bumblebee John Cena, Transformers John, Black and Yellow John.
See, back in 2002, John Cena walked out to the ring as if he'd shot himself. He literally looked like an action figure. You know, he didn't really bend or move properly. He was like stiff.
Very articulated.
Yeah.
Like an articulated lorry.
I mean, he would have played a good Terminator, I think.
No, he would have.
Just due to the fact that he didn't really move like a human.
Yeah, I actually don't really understand what was his gimmick. Like,
and remember last week, D'Lo Brown actually came out and says how they all used to laugh and make fun of John Cena because he didn't move like he had no, he didn't move it naturally or anything like that. He was always stiff.
It was like a put on.
Yeah, he did look like a robot, a machine.
Yeah, I will say, you look at like Orton and Batista, and I mean, just look at Brock. Even in Brock's, see, I would argue even Brock's debut moment, he was almost the finished fucking article.
Yeah, look at the way he was moving, man. He looked like he'd been doing it for years.
And that's not saying Cena's awful. I still feel like he's still a good worker.
See, when Cena comes out, he looks like he's been taking he's mid shit, and they've literally phoned him and says your match is next,
and he's nipped it.
He's had to step up. Without nipping it, he's had to step up out the toilet seat and he's walking out with a shite hanging out his arse. That's what John Cena looks like to me. But anyway, let's move on. Cena versus Jericho. Could have been a great match. We don't really get that though. Jericho takes the easy way, low blow. Does that mean Jericho couldn't beat Cena? Who knows? Keeps Cena unbeaten, I guess. I think he's not. No, he's not. He lost to Angle. Alright, but he's unbeaten apart from like Big Start and Jericho. He didn't lose.
He's looking strong in defeat, right?
He's looking strong in defeat. Although he did technically win the night by DQ, so...
Well, there you go, exactly.
I tell you what, Jericho's current run isn't very good. I wouldn't have put Jericho over Cena here.
No, they could have just had a roll-up. But who knows what's going to happen for Jericho. But Eric Bischoff, Raw and Fade SmackDown. Now, normally we're like, back in the day, they kept the brand splits clean, brother. They stuck their own shows. I actually don't mind this. I feel like there's a lot of...
They did, but I think it's just literally because Eric Bischoff has just been announced the GM. I think after the first couple of weeks, when it settles down, you'll notice there is no Raw people turn up in SmackDown.
And then Bischoff has his own belt, sort of thing as well, going on. But yeah, Bischoff, this starts a lot of Bischoff segments here. He arrives at the arena, he gets interviewed. Oh, what are you going to do with Triple H? He's like, I'm going to make all the decisions.
Speaking of belts, you brought up Bischoff having his own belt, basically bringing back the World Heavyweight Championship. How come when he brought that back, why did he give it to Triple H? Why did he not announce a 12-man tournament featuring 6 Raw guys and 6 SmackDown guys, like they did in 2023?
Fuck, I wonder why, I don't know. But actually, why didn't they have a tournament? I guess part of the deal with bringing Triple H to Raw, maybe they go on to mention that. But who knows, guys?
Well, it was a joke. I was taking a...
No, I know.
I was taking a dig at the whole point of this belt was to create a world championship for Raw. So therefore, of course, you're not going to have any SmackDown guys involved.
Of course you're not, but my point is, I wonder, in kayfabe terms, did he give the belt to Triple H as like a ploy to bring him to the Red brand?
Could be here. Triple H, if you sign with me, not only are you going to be on the flagship show of WWE, but you'll also be the new World Heavyweight Championship.
Yep. Up next, we have a very bizarre scene. We have WCW, literally. Bischoff talking to Hogan backstage. It looked like a creative control meeting for 97 or something. This is just weird seeing this in WWE TV.
It doesn't look like it belongs in WWE.
Like, it's weird in 2023 watching this. What the fuck would it have felt like in 2002?
Plus, I believe we don't really get to see Hogan and Bischoff on WWE, that TV, that much. I don't know if this is it. I'm not going to say this is the only time we ever see them on TV in WWE together. But it'll be one of the very few.
I'm going to say it probably would be. Maybe in like 2005 when Hogan comes back for a bit, but then by that point Bischoff's near gone. It'll be interesting to see.
Alright, hold on. It's the last time we see them on screen with Bischoff looking like WCW Bischoff.
No,
By the
Bischoff.
time Hogan could possibly see Bischoff again, Bischoff will have like the skin cut, grey hair.
Bischoff's talking to Hogan here, and Hogan's like, "Don't work for me, brother." But he's trying to convince him, but Hogan's like, "What about the Hulkamaniacs?" And he's like, "Oh, what about your pal Edge? He's up and coming."
You know what? To me, it sounded like Bischoff didn't want Hogan.
He wanted Edge.
He wanted Edge, and he was trying to use Hogan to get Edge. That's what I took from it. But basically, Bischoff's like, "Why don't Edge you come to Monday Night Raw?" I mean, that would be the tag champs coming from SmackDown to Raw. Makes sense to me if you can make it happen.
I mean, you're getting Hogan and Edge at this point, who is being pushed like a superstar, man, at the minute. Up next, we've got the Hurricane, who has kind of just went off the boil in recent weeks, in my opinion, taking on a returning Chavo Guerrero.
Yeah, he's really not doing much. Chavo beats the Hurricane. Hurricane was injured. Chavo makes him tap. And then Chavo says he's the best luchador, and he's going to prove it. He challenges Rey Mysterio, who's going to be debuting next week, I believe. So Chavo versus Rey. Where's Chavo been? It felt like they literally just brought Chavo out of nowhere just to have him put him in a match.
We haven't seen
Rey.
Chavo, I believe, since
Austin kicked his ass for being late.
No, I believe it was even after that. I believe we had him. And what's that guy called?
Sean O'Hare.
Not Sean O'Hare. The guy does Bill DeMont. I'm pretty sure we had him and Bill DeMont like interviewing the Divas at Vengeance 2001. I remember them backstage. I remember something like that.
Maybe
It was around the time Big Show got pissed on by William Regal. It was that weird.
That's a long fucking time ago.
It was that weird angle they had where the ex-Invasion guys were like kind of in McMahon's corner. Remember that?
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on there.
So what's Chavo been doing since then?
I don't know. Catering?
Eating burritos and catering?
Could do. Vince McMahon.
Or maybe he's actually been doing catering. Like maybe he's actually working there.
Dishing at the burritos. McMahon turns up, he gets a whiff of these burritos, he says, "I will announce the new general manager tonight." But he's informed that Eric Bischoff's already here. McMahon's like, "Oh, is that so?" He then confronts Bischoff. Bischoff starts like touching McMahon's suit. And McMahon's like looking at him, the facial expressions are brilliant here. McMahon's like, "What the fuck's this
Get
guy
your
doing?"
hands off my suit. But like, see, back in the day, I felt it was as if you got like limo scenes 2 or 3 times an episode. Who the fuck is that important? Is that? It's like back then. It's like stars, important people turned up in limos. When does anybody ever turn up? No, but when does any? See in 2023, who turns up in a limo? I think when you see a limousine, you think, "Oh, there's someone important in that limo."
No, but it's the fact we see McMahon and Bischoff and we're disappointed. We're disappointed in seeing McMahon and Bischoff getting out of limousines.
I'd love to see them there. But like, when do you ever see a limousine arrive in the arena in 2023?
Never.
In wrestling, never. Because there's no one ever important to get out.
Exactly. Billy and Chuck take on Hardcore Holly and the Big Falboski. You're thinking, right, Billy and Chuck are having to win this match, but they don't. And I'm actually genuinely shocked they don't.
I thought the Big Falboski was getting jobbed out because first of all, he's getting teamed with Hardcore Holly. Second of all, he's coming out to Hardcore's music. But he ends up getting the pin, and then they play his music, so I guess it worked out pretty well for him.
No, it did. You know what? He does a better frog splash than Guerrero, doesn't he?
Guerrero gets a lot of money on this channel.
Guerrero's no bad.
He's alright.
He's alright, guys. Up next, we've got Edge, Hogan, Rikishi against the Un-Americans. And I think it was safe to say we knew how this match was going.
Very good 6-man tag match with Edge taking the majority of the load.
Yeah, definitely. Didn't want to tag in the fat man or the old man. He did it all himself.
Eventually did tag in the old man. Then we got a good
Test does a big boot. Near kills Rikishi. Hogan comes in, does the worst big boot. It's not good having them back to back.
Yeah, Hogan's big boot is shit. He literally just stands there and lifts his leg, and then the person has to run into his boot and try and create some momentum.
Test's boot feels like, it's like bloody, who does, Tom Brady doesn't do any conversion. Who does conversion kicks in the NFL? Who's a good kicker?
Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee, man, running punt. Well, those kicks he did to McMahon, or McMahon did to him.
Jesus
Less said about that.
McMahon never made it in the XFL.
But you know what?
Fuck me, kicking like that.
We have like big boot, spear, and then Rikishi flattens Lance Storm in the corner, man. Absolutely brutal. But
I tell you what, Hogan took Christian's reverse DDT pretty good.
Oh, he did.
Considering his back's fucked, I'm surprised.
I throw out my back.
Could you imagine Hogan taking that now?
No, I don't want to imagine it.
How many stages would Hulk Hogan actually need to drop in? You probably need to go to a knee first, then go to a hand on the mat before he could get down.
Exactly, but the face team was always going to win this, but I'm not really a fan of the Un-Americans like lose. It seems like they lose every week.
Yeah. Ah, well, I can blame it on the American referee, I suppose.
The American referee.
But see, back here, you think Hogan's old as fuck.
Not.
But he probably was compared to, like, wrestlers being active in this era. But, I mean, you look now, and it's like, seeing you see people like, you look at the roster, and look at, like, Sheamus, AJ Styles, Finn Balor. All those guys are Hogan's age.
Yeah.
Here.
That's the reality.
It's strange. Like, you look at the majority of the roster on today's wrestling is over 40. And if they're not over 40, they're fucking damn near approaching it.
Yeah.
There is not many people that is under 40.
It's sad though, because you've got the likes of Edge and Rock here, and they're all under their 50s now.
Yep.
It's fucking sad.
It is.
Anyway, something that was great, I think this was probably segment of the night. We have Eric Bischoff meeting The Rock. Bischoff's trying to sell himself, he's trying to sell Raw, and I feel like this is probably one of the best Rock promos we've had in ages.
Aye, I would agree with that.
Just full of hype and entertainment. And he didn't really bury Bischoff. He was all for it. He was like, The Rock's gonna be on Raw. But nah, because I'm gonna be the undisputed champion, Eric. Easy-E.
And he was putting Eric over, saying how good he was and how creative he was in WCW. Bischoff wanted The Rock. Can you imagine if The Rock was on Nitro?
It's almost like they just want to completely gloss over the invasion, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the invasion was shit, though. At the time, I enjoyed it because it was a cool element, and it was the first time in wrestling I think you ever really got that.
And ever will get it to that degree.
Don't get me wrong, I know in the late 90s you had a couple of ECW guys turn up on Raw and whatever, but I mean, that was a couple of fucking hillbillies with extreme wrestling.
Looking at it, right, you would have rather they did the invasion than just another year of storytelling, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong.
I don't see...
The only thing you could argue is that they did pretty much put WWF on hold in terms of WWE as a company. You didn't really get any internal feuds. So, I mean, I guess they kind of put that on hold. They just have it was like just a big brand war, wasn't it, really, at the end of the day? It was like a big two companies rivaling. But I enjoyed it. It didn't even last that long when you look at it.
No, not really. So
it lasted about 5 months.
I was all for it here, but The Rock says, I was too busy on Raw and SmackDown putting your company out of business if you smell what The Rock is cooking. And he walks off and it's like, whoa.
Well, put it this way, if the invasion angle never happened, what would we have missed out on? By it happening, what did we miss out on?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's hard to say what we did miss out on.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
it had to happen, personally.
Yeah, no.
I look at all the epic moments that happened during the invasion, man. Like, just Austin's entire run. Like,
yeah,
Jeff Hardy, Vince Van Dam, all the 5-on-5 matches, DDP being revealed, the gore through the Titantron. I mean, that's just a few moments I can name off the top of my head. There's millions more.
Angle Austin was great. So, I'm all for the invasion.
I'm all for it. McMahon's for the invasion of SmackDown because he announces the general manager. I knew it was Stephanie, but I feel like it's a bit underwhelming.
Before you go back to it, if we do get like the Hulk Hogan and Sting, then that means you don't get Austin joining the Alliance team. And I actually really liked Austin's heel run. I know a lot of people are split on it, but surely if you have all the big stars in WCW, then Austin doesn't join the Alliance.
Yeah. No, obviously. So, yeah, it's like, do you really want to trade all those epic moments with Austin with a proper invasion? In an ideal world, you get both, but at the end of the day, you can't get both sometimes. You only get one. But you only get one general manager. And I'm not a fan, really, of Stephanie McMahon being SmackDown general manager. I don't mind, alright. But when she comes out and spouts the pish about, oh, well, Eric Bischoff tried to put this out of company, I'm not going to do that to my family. But you just did.
Yeah,
at least Shane explained it well on Raw. He's like, at least when I did it, Daddy, it was me against you, not some outsider.
It just felt like Stephanie was just basically blaming that whole invasion on Shane here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty much it. Not taking any responsibility for her actions. And I don't know if Stephanie McMahon had a sore throat or something.
Yeah, but from the first
her
words...
voice seems very off tonight.
No, it did. But I don't know who was available in 2002, but surely there was better options than Stephanie McMahon. I know Paul Heyman's tied up with Brock.
I know, but is it not more, that's his daughter, and he's going to give her a job? Like here, maybe she'll turn into a good GM, but if you want any proof that Raw's the A show and SmackDown's the B show. Even though I think SmackDown has been the better show by far since the brand split, it's like, you know what I mean? Because I felt like even with the owners, I felt like SmackDown had the much better owner in Vincent McMahon.
But I will say this.
Compared to Flair, but now you look at it.
McMahon is on SmackDown a hell of a lot more than he is on Raw.
That's true, but I mean, I don't know, you just look at... I would much rather watch a show with Eric Bischoff as the authority figure than Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah. I know, absolutely. Bischoff's just... you see Bischoff talking with Hogan and Rock, I know you can say, oh, we haven't seen it before, but when I see Stephanie talking with Triple H and Jericho, I'm not saying it's awful, but we've just seen it a million times before. What can really be said that's different at the end of the day? But she is the new general manager. She says, our first order of business is removing Eric Bischoff from the arena.
I didn't like this. I thought we were going to get a big bit of news here, because she was basically alluding that Bischoff's trying to sign all the SmackDown people. I thought she was going to announce a big signing here from Raw.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen. She literally just says, I'm going to throw Eric Bischoff out. And then she went backstage, interrupted him talking to the Un-Americans, and asked him to leave. So, I thought we were getting a big reveal here, but in reality, we didn't really get much.
Yeah, like...
The only thing I think they done better was they didn't, like, spoil that she was the GM, like they did with Bischoff on Raw. That was a bit...
But I would have rather they spoiled Stephanie than Bischoff. So that's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I think it would have made more sense to see her walking backstage just before the announcement. Here, see this guy that's never stepped foot in WWE. Let's have him fucking appear backstage in a Booker T promo. What?
Yeah.
What was that about? Anyway, talking a bit shit with Billy Kidman defeating Tajiri. Not a fan of Billy Kidman. Not a fan of his theme song.
Gets the win, but Jamie Noble and Lydia come out 3-on-1 beatdown. And at the pay-per-view, we're getting Billy Kidman versus Jamie Noble for the Cruiserweight Championship. Tell you what, this Vengeance pay-per-view isn't looking that great in my opinion. It's got this Cruiserweight match that I'm not exactly hyped for. We've got Booker T versus Big Show that I'm not exactly hyped for. I mean, the Dudleys, I'm not really a big fan of the Dudleys versus Guerrero and Benoit.
The table match, that'll be alright. Triple H I think they're making a big deal out of what brand Triple H is picking.
I don't understand it. He is a SmackDown guy, is he not?
I've always said he isn't a SmackDown guy.
Oh, no, wait, I don't think he is actually, because he had the belts when the brand split was done, therefore he didn't get drafted.
Yeah, I think that's why. You've got, what else you got? I mean, the triple threat match is pretty good.
I'll tell you what, should he not have made his decision by now?
You know, what are they dragging out? He did get injured, didn't he? They kayfabed him.
True, but he's been out for a while. He's not been the champion for a while. Taker's had the belt for at least a few months now. Triple H should have made his decision by now, and I thought he was a SmackDown guy. Has he not been on SmackDown more than he's lost to Devon? He's lost to, I think he had a match with Christian. He almost lost to Lance Storm. He has been feuding on SmackDown. He hasn't been on Raw.
Yeah.
So I'm under the illusion that Triple H.
But then there's other people Bischoff's trying to flip. But they're making a massive deal out of Triple H compared to everyone else.
I'm pretty sure McMahon said he have a SmackDown contract or something like that. You've ended up in SmackDown?
Yeah, he did. I think he did say something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember why. Is it because a Raw guy beat him for the belt? I can't remember what the logic was, but I'm pretty convinced that Triple H is a SmackDown guy.
He's a SmackDown guy.
So I don't know why they're making the decision. I get it that he's trying to be tempted to Raw, but for me, it's not like he's a free agent.
No.
But they're treating it as if he is.
He is. Talking of free agents, even though Jericho's not, he comes in and Stephanie puts him in a match against Edge next week, which will be in a steel cage, right? But he reacts as if she's putting him in a 3-on-1 match against the NWO.
Yeah, I get it. He's acting like he doesn't want it. Well, he's acting like he wants it, but then when we see him away from Stephanie, he doesn't want it. But I wasn't really seeing this. I thought Jericho initially really wanted the match with Edge, and I know he gave it up, but he was reluctant at the time to give up the match. McMahon was like, I'll make it up to you. So I don't know why all of a sudden he doesn't want to face Edge.
I just feel like what they're going
What are they doing with Jericho at the moment? It's not very good.
And I'll be honest, I don't think what they do with him on Raw is particularly better, is it? Really?
I think it is.
Well, he gets put in the chamber match. What else does Jericho do in 2002 apart from the chamber match? The floor is yours.
Not team up with Christian? Or maybe that's later.
That's a bit later.
I can't
That's
remember.
like 2003-4. Anyway, we have Kurt Angle coming out. We did have Cole and Michael Taz. Taz and Michael Cole breaking down the pay-per-view match. I always like these wee segments. It's good.
Yeah, me too.
Especially when the actual song's in it. Normally the network has a pish song in there that's not that good.
Taz said that tune in to SmackDown because it's got the superior announcer, so I don't agree with that though.
Yeah, we go through the whole card, right? And then it gets to Jamie Noble taking on Billy Kidman.
And they just
And Kurt Angle comes out. It's like, fuck this match, it doesn't matter. Kurt Angle says he will win at Vengeance and he declares victory. Out comes Taker, so Taker's going to take a ringside seat. And I mean, this is a match. Kurt Angle against The Rock. In the main event of SmackDown, Rock comes out, massive pop.
Better than any Mania main event in the past fucking 10 years.
Easily. Since The Rock was in one. The Rock comes out, slides into the ring, there is no time for hesitating here, he just starts battering. And this is fast-paced action to a match. This did not need to be, we do dives to the outside and I push him with my hands. No, The Rock's hitting them with uppercuts, Angle's going down, getting up, and then he fucking clotheslines over the top and the crowd get to react. This is how you work a match.
Yeah, this is a real fight, a real match. Two real wrestlers, two real stars.
That fucking know how to work. Absolutely.
I know what my biggest pet peeve is, the whole thing that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn do. See when they grab each other and then they throw punches while holding the back of each other's neck? I fucking despise that scene. I hate that worse than super kicks.
Nah, it is.
But anyway.
It completely devalues everything.
Like, if you're getting punched, you should be set. Like, see that time Triple H was on Tough Enough? And that time the guy, he punched the guy and the guy didn't... I thought the guy sold it not bad, to be honest. Sold it better than any cunt does today.
Triple H near kills him.
He says
puts his nose through his heart.
If you sold like that in the ring for me, I'd deck you for real. It's like, how can Triple H? That's what I don't get. How can Triple H, a guy that was successful, a guy that was involved in great errors, how can you look at today's wrestlers and think, oh, this is brilliant? Black and Gold NXT is brilliant when there is no fucking selling.
I know.
I think Triple H has sold his soul. I think he's just trying to keep whatever hardcore audience he can in wrestling. I think he knows that the indie fanboys are like the hardcore audience and he's just trying to play to them. I think he knows that his style doesn't fucking win anybody over, doesn't draw.
No, I agree with that. I just don't see
Triple H must know that NXT Black and Gold's not great.
I know.
Just because it appeals to a certain type of audience, like.
He must. But, well, of course he knows. It's just at the end of the day, what is going to happen with Triple H? Because this whole gimmick of him, like you said, telling that guy here, I deck you for real, that would be for his bullying now.
No, but if that's how he truly feels, he should be decking everybody in 2023 that walks behind the curtain after the match.
I didn't watch Raw, but apparently the superstars in real life had an argument backstage about the match. Was it bad, the main event? Apparently it was sloppy or something.
The whole fucking show's sloppy.
Yeah.
If you want to rewatch it, feel free.
Sloppy seconds, man, on Monday
Anyway,
Night Raw.
Undertaker gets in, causes the DQ, end to the match, just ends like that. Starts beating up The Rock. Angle comes in, hits Taker with a steel chair, and then The Rock manages to get the upper hand on Angle, but Angle gets it back, and Angle beats down The Rock. And
Angle looks strong, which means he's taking the pin on Sunday. That's what I'm going for.
Right, Kurt's no winning.
Kurt is definitely no winning. I think it's going to be The Rock winning. And weirdly, like this main event feud ends with a cameraman in the interview running the Triple H in the parking lot.
If you want to win the title, just make sure you get your ass kicked heading into the final show, you know.
Yeah, but what was this with Triple H? Like, we're led to believe he was in the area, and here he is walking backstage.
And yeah, I don't get this. He was in the area, but the only time you see him is at the end of the show when he's heading towards the limo to leave. What was he fucking here for then?
Yeah, well, apparently he was here for Bischoff. Stephanie tells him, "Come on, man, come on, come to SmackDown." Even though you're already on it, he's like, "What? Do you want your lawyer present for that?" He's like
taking a hint at the divorce that they're going through. He looks Stephanie up and down. You think he's thinking, maybe I do want to get back with my hot wife, but
realistically, right? Why in the name of Christ would he actually go to SmackDown?
I'm not sure, but what do you mean go to SmackDown? He's already on SmackDown.
Right, why would he want to stay or go?
What, he doesn't want to work with his ex-wife?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going for.
Pretty much. Then he looks Stephanie up and down before saying to her, you put on weight, getting in the limo. Then he gets in the limo. Stephanie's not happy. I personally don't think Stephanie's put on weight. If anything, I think she's lost weight. I think she looks a little bit skinny. Although, wearing the suit, it's hard to tell.
It is, but I think he was just saying this to provoke a reaction.
No shit, but I actually do think she's lost a bit of weight.
And then Bischoff comes over and confirms. He's like, you look alright, Stephanie. I seen Bischoff.
You look good to me.
I seen Bischoff rolling over.
It was fucking great though, because Triple H gets in, and then when the window's coming down, it should be Triple H.
But it's Eric
Bischoff just sitting there.
You bastard!
Then the limo drives off, she's like, screw you, Eric. And what a great ending to SmackDown there.
It was really, really good SmackDown. I'll be honest about it. It was really good. I feel like the match, Billy Kidman to Jerry and Hurricane Chavo did nothing for me, but it kind of just is the Cruiserweight division.
I'm going to get an 8 out of 10.
I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. What was it missing from a 9 or a 10?
I don't know if it was necessarily missing anything for a 9. But the two matches that you mentioned really
didn't do much.
And plus, I think the Stephanie McMahon it wasn't necessarily the reveal. I wasn't really feeling Stephanie McMahon's promo. I wasn't really feeling her interaction with Jericho. I thought the interaction with Triple H was not bad.
Everything Bischoff did was golden.
But yeah, the ending I think was more good because of Bischoff.
It's like Bischoff.
The reveal of Bischoff and in the limo. That's what I thought added to that final scene. See if Triple H just got in the limo after saying you put on weight and it drove off. It wouldn't really have the same impact for me.
No, but Bischoff's came on the SmackDown and he's just completely up shoulder.
He has. I mean, and this is what.
Is that what McMahon's went for though? Did he think, right, I'll put Stephanie in the deep waters here against Eric Bischoff because he's made her look pish.
Eric Bischoff has been the GM of Raw for 1 week. He's appeared on 1 Raw, 1 SmackDown, and already his run has surpassed Ric Flair.
Yeah. Easily.
So, that's what it is. This is why you need authority figures, good authority figures, and why we don't fucking have any in today's wrestling. I just don't get it. Like, take NXT, for example. Shawn Michaels is supposed to be the general manager of NXT. He appears like once every 4 months. No, like, why? He's actually there, though, during the shows. Why can't we have Shawn Michaels as an actual GM and have him appear 2 or 3 times a show? I don't get it. I mean, you can argue Raw was at its best when Eric Bischoff was the GM. Talking like post-Attitude Era, I think Raw's best period was the Ruthless Aggression Era with Eric Bischoff in charge.
Absolutely. No, Bischoff was the man. I think towards the end it was getting a wee bit stale, but I don't think that's anything to do with Bischoff, really.
Yeah, but
taking out the trash. But it's an 8 out of 10. Up next is the top 5 moments, and then it's Vengeance. I've never watched Vengeance 2002, so I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it as well. Even if you look at wrestling today, I felt like the last time wrestling was good, maybe not good, but I think you need authority figures. Look at when they had the authority on Raw. It just felt like you had
authority,
leader, someone in charge. Like now you got Adam Pearce. He's not an authority. He just appears the odd time to say, let's make it official.
Is it any surprise, right, that like in the mid-90s they had no authority figure and it was a bit pish? I'm not saying it leads to everything, but to me that's not a surprising thing.
Look at the Attitude Era. Like if you didn't have McMahon, you had a commissioner. Sometimes you had both.
Yeah, but like 95, 96, you had Gorilla Monsoon coming out every 2 months.
Aye, well, how'd that work out for them?
Monsoon, baby. But anyway, guys.
83 weeks in a row.
83 weeks in a row. And it was this man, Eric Bischoff, pumping WWE. But anyway, till next time, we'll see you very soon for Vengeance. But until then, peace.